Hello and welcome to the Daily Rift. I'm Stormo, and it looks like we've got, I always get the name of this area. I never remember the names of areas. That zone in Act 3. Stone Fort. So this should be good. One of my favourite zones in the game, so.
That would not be wise.
Okay. And immediately we've decided to start on a hard difficulty. So, I just discovered something about Vault that I never knew until now, which is that it doesn't break the root from Frozen. I'm sure I've managed to get it to do that before, so. Maybe I was thinking of Smoke Screen or Shadow Power or one of those ones. So we're off to a good start here. Maintaining the tradition of dying at the start of a rift run. It's all about that random number generator, that's all it is. I'm just trying to settle that random number generator. Wow. This is going to be a fun rift, guys. Really fun rift. Stay. Is that nightmarish? Yep. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh. Nightmarish is one of my least favourite affixes. I don't like affixes that take away control from the character, and the fear effect that Blizzard uses in this game and in World of Warcraft and a couple other of their games is one of the most annoying things I find in a game. Not only losing control of your character, but being forced to move away from where you want to be always frustrates me. So, especially in a game like this where positioning is so important, and getting feared can destroy your positioning so badly that you end up dying without having had any control over whether or not you can stop that death or not. But we shall press on. So hopefully things get a little bit cleaner from here on out. But this looks like it's going to be a fairly dense rift. This zone's fairly dense even when you play it in the game anyway, so. So anyway, this is not a lot's changed since the last episode. I haven't really played much outside of recording these videos lately, so I'm just sort of, you know, just trying to get gear, see what we get in these rifts. I might put some more time in the weekend, but I don't really want that situation I had last weekend where I got a whole bunch of upgrades and none of them are on the video. I'd like, particularly with this character, seeing as it's one I'm primarily using for these rifts, I'd like for her upgrades to come up on the video, so maybe I'll just play other characters when I'm not playing outside of this one. That was too many vaults. I have vault with, I think it's the Tumble Rune that gives you the second vault at a reduced cost after the first one. So, helps if you don't vault into the enemy. If you don't know, Vault always moves towards where your mouse cursor is pointing, so. Yeah, it looks like things are going a little bit smoother now after that slightly rough start, so we should be okay from here on out. I'm pretty sure this map doesn't have a random layout for rifts, so it's always the same layout no matter what you get in it. So far it's looking pretty familiar anyway, so.
Not enough hatred. I am in need. Not enough discipline. That is impossible.
Why am I going up there? There won't be anything up there. That's a terrible idea. That's a better idea. Look at that. Glorious. See, I actually prefer something like Arcane Enchanted to Nightmarish. Like, Arcane Sentries are things I can deal with. Combine them with combine them with Nightmarish and we have a problem. But in general, they're just things that I can deal with and that I'm okay with dealing with. So. Even stuff like Desecrator or Molten is usually not that difficult to handle. But when you have an effect that just costs you that control of your character, that's when I start to get frustrated a little bit. Because I just feel that's a bit too random. I can't imagine how it feels on hardcore mode to have a death like that where you had no control of your character for the entire time. And you just basically had to eat the death. So probably a reason I don't play on hardcore mode is that this game has those things, and for me, hardcore mode needs to be a mode where I have complete control over when I die or don't die. And sort of those random events that I have no control over would just, yeah, really, really annoy me, especially if it's a character I've worked up to this kind of level and then all of a sudden lose because of something like that. So I don't really have the skill personally to sort of be able to keep myself alive in those kind of situations. And particularly with this character, I don't quite have gear maybe to do that either. And that can help, particularly in that situation where your only real defense is how much survivability your gear is offering you at the time. So another Nightmarish with Arcane Enchanted. Remember I said about that before? Wow. And he has Frozen as well, and Horde. Frozen's not a big deal, it's fairly easy to avoid. Horde is, again, not a huge deal. Horde can be annoying if the minions all have Arcane Sentry or something like that, and you have like 50 Arcane Sentries in a narrow space. But in general, I'm not that fussed with those affixes. The main ones that bother me are Nightmarish, Waller, the old extra health affix, which I know is gone from the game now, and probably Desecrator can be a little bit annoying. Jailer can be annoying too. As a Demon Hunter, Jailer doesn't bother me as much as it does some other classes, but it can be annoying.
No, I will not do that. That would not be wise.
I'm just getting elites and champions after elites and champions at the moment. This is really good. So it means this will be a fairly quick rift because they give you so much more experience to count towards the rift meter on the side there. I don't know what its actual name is, I just call it the rift meter. The riftometer. There you go. So, and then of course you're doing a greater rift, you have the griftor. I'll do that again. Then of course you have a greater rift, you have the griftometer. So, apologies for my early morning voice. Well, it's not early morning here, but it's early enough. I try to get these recorded in the morning, and then I can edit and do other stuff in the afternoon, so most of my videos are recorded early in the day, if I can.
I need more hatred to do that. No, I will not do that.
Not sure why we came up here, because this just leads back to another staircase further back, so it was kind of the way everyone was sort of running and I just followed along, I guess. So.
That would not be wise.
Okay. Killing mobs and taking names. Might spend that Paragon point just after we clear through here, so just bring that up. What do we got there? And attack speed. Cool. So that works well. I recall this being a not especially large map, but it seems like we may not get through to the end of this map before we hit a rift gate, especially if we get mob density. So remember what I was saying about Waller? Wow, okay, this is going to be painful. Because I need to get back off these stairs and out of the way of those sentries, but they keep walling me in. And I'm stuck on Plague as well, which is really annoying. Yeah, that was just too annoying. Okay. That's where Waller can get really annoying, is when you don't have the ability to work around it like that. Oh, you are joking. And again, I can't do anything to move out of the way, so I'm going to head back this way and down these stairs, hopefully, and hopefully that'll bring everything down. Yep, there we go. So I've got more room this way, and hopefully that'll allow us to get away from stuff we need to get away from. I've mentioned before that I find Waller really annoying, and that's exactly why I find it annoying. It's too easy to get trapped like that without being able to do anything about it. Even skills like vaults don't work. You can't vault through walls or anything like that. If you could vault through walls, that'd be really good, and I don't really understand why vault won't go through those walls. Fortunately, Chakram shoots through walls, so that's kind of good, and it helps a little bit in those situations, but it's still not a complete solution to the problem that I have with Warlock. So the ultimate nightmare would probably be that setup we just had there, except having Nightmarish in the mix as well. I'm not even sure that's a possible mob combination. So, because there are certain affix combinations that are basically not allowed. Wow, what's with the Nightmarish today? Everything has Nightmarish on it. I bet I'm going to get one of the bosses that fears at the end of this. That's what's going to happen. I think that there are... I think that there is a epic item stat that basically allows you to ignore Nightmarish. I've never seen it, but I'd like to believe that there is.
That is impossible.
But knowing Blizzard, there probably isn't, because it somehow unbalances or is open to abuse or something like that. One thing Blizzard have always been really good at is figuring out those little corner cases and making sure to correct for them in their games. Here we go with the Rift Guardian. What is it? No, it's the Choker, so no fear, just lots of poison on this one. So that's a relief. Even better, we've got a nice area to sort of work with him in here too. We've got a big sort of open area, which is not particularly common on a map like this.
I can't do that.
Just need to be aware of that poison over thing that he does. We got this pretty easily, I think. So overall, a kind of quick but somewhat rough rift here. Let's try and smash him while he's in this little area.
I wish I could do that. I need
Oh, let's get out. Oh, okay. So there I was talking about how easy that boss was, and that was my own fault though. I didn't get into position properly there. My situational awareness just wasn't operating at maximum at that point. But we've got this, so it's just going to cost us a little bit more in repairs, which isn't a big deal. Looks like we didn't get anything particularly interesting in that run, unfortunately. But hopefully tomorrow we will have better luck. So thank you all for watching, and we will be back with another Rift tomorrow.